The Holy Quran, Arabic to English translation, read by Hawk School, Part 15. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful, glory be to Him who carried His servant by night from the sacred mosque to the distant mosque, the environs of which we have blessed that we might show Him some of our signs. Surely He alone is the hearing, the seeing. And we gave Moses the book, and we made it a guidance for the children of Israel, saying, Take no guardian beside me. O ye, the progeny of those whom we carried in the ark with Noah. O ye, the progeny of those whom we carried in the ark with Noah. He was indeed a grateful servant. And we have revealed to the children of Israel in the book, saying, You will surely do mischief in the land twice, and you will surely become excessively overbearing. So when the time for the first of the two warnings came, we sent against you some servants of ours possessed of great might in war, and they penetrated the innermost parts of your house. And it was a warning that was bound to be carried out. Then we gave you back the power against them, and aided you with wealth and children, and made you larger in numbers. Now, if you do well, you will do well for your own souls, and if you do evil, it will only go against them. So when the time for the latter warning came, we raised a people against you to cover your faces with grief, and to enter the mosque as they entered it the first time, and to destroy all that they conquered with utter destruction. It may be that your Lord will now have mercy on you, but if you return to your previous state, we too will return, and we have made hell a prison for the disbelievers. Surely this Quran guides to what is most right, and gives to the believers who do good deeds and the glad tidings that they shall have a great reward. And that for those who do not believe in what is to come later, we have prepared a grievous punishment. And man asks for evil as he should ask for good, and man is hasty. And we have made the night and the day two signs. And the sign of the night we have made dark, and the sign of day we have made sight-giving, that you may seek bounty from your Lord, and that you may know the computation of years and the science of reckoning. And everything we have explained with a detailed explanation. And everything we have explained with a detailed explanation. And every man's works have we fastened to his neck, and on the day of resurrection we shall bring out for him a book which he will find wide open. Read thy book. Sufficient is thy own soul this day as a reckoner against thee. Read thy book. Sufficient is thy own soul this day as a reckoner against thee. He who follows the right way follows it only for the good of his own soul. And he who goes astray only to his own loss. And no bearer of a burden shall bear the burden of another. We never punish until we have sent a messenger. And when we intend to destroy a township, we address our commandments to its rebellious people, but they transgress therein, so the sentence of punishment becomes due against it, and we destroy it with utter destruction. How many generations have we destroyed after Noah? And thy Lord suffices as the knower and seer of the sins of his servants. Whoso desires the present life, we hasten for him therein what we will, for such of them as we please. Then have we appointed hell for him, and he shall burn therein, condemned and rejected. And whoso desires the hereafter and strives for it as it should be striven for, and he is a believer, these are the ones whose striving shall find favor with God. And whoso desires the hereafter and strives for it as it should be striven for, and he is a believer, these are the ones whose striving shall find favor with God. To all we render aid, both to these and those. A gift from thy Lord, and the gift of thy Lord is not restricted. Behold how we have exalted some of them over others in the present life, and surely the hereafter shall be greater in degrees of rank, and greater in excellence. Set not up with Allah another God, lest thou sit down disgraced and forsaken. Thy Lord has commanded worship none but him, and show kindness to parents. If one of them or both of them attain old age with thee, never say unto them any word expressive of disgust, nor reproach them, but address them with excellent speech. Thy Lord has commanded, worship none but him, and show kindness to parents. If one of them or both of them attain old age with thee, never say unto them any word expressive of disgust, nor reproach them, but address them with excellent speech. And lower to them the wing of humility out of tenderness, and say, My Lord, have mercy on them, even as they nourished me in my childhood. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. Your Lord knows best what is in your minds. If you are righteous, then surely he is most forgiving to those who turn to him again and again. And give thou to the kinsman his due, and to the poor and the wayfarer, and squander not thy wealth extravagantly. Verily, the extravagant are brothers of Satan's, and Satan is ungrateful to his Lord. And if thou hast to turn away from them, while seeking thy Lord's mercy for which thou hopest, even then speak to them a gentle word. And keep not thy hand chained to thy neck, nor stretch it out in entire stretching, lest thou sit down blamed or exhausted. Surely thy Lord enlarges his provision for whom he pleases, and straightens it for whom he pleases. Verily, he knows and sees his servant full well. Verily, he knows and sees his servants full well. Kill not your children for fear of poverty. It is we who provide for them and for you. Surely the killing of them is a great sin. And come not near unto adultery. Surely it is a foul thing and an evil way. And kill not the soul which Allah has forbidden save for just cause. And whoso is killed wrongfully, we have surely given his heir authority to demand retaliation. But let him not exceed the prescribed bounds in slaying, for therein he is helped by law. And come not near the property of the orphan except in the best way, until he attains his maturity, and fulfill the covenant, for the covenant shall be questioned about. And give full measure when you measure, and weigh with a right balance, and that is best and is most commendable in the end. And follow not that which thou hast no knowledge. Verily the ear and the eye and the heart, all these shall be called to account. And walk not in the earth haughtily, for thou canst not rend the earth, nor canst thou reach the mountains in height. The evil of all these is hateful in the sight of thy Lord. This is part of that wisdom which thy Lord has revealed to thee, and set not up with Allah any other God, lest thou be cast into hell, condemned and rejected. Has then your Lord honored you with sons, and taken for himself females from among the angels? Surely you say a grievous thing. We have explained the truth in this Quran in various ways, that they may be admonished, but it only increases them in aversion. Say, had there been other gods with him, as they say, then the idolaters would have surely sought out a way to the owner of the throne. Say, had there been other gods with him, as they say, then the idolaters would surely have sought out a way to the owner of the throne. Holy is he and exalted far above that which they say. The seven heavens and the earth and those that are therein extol his glory, and there is not a thing but glorifies him with his praise. But you understand not their glorification. But you understand not their glorification. Verily, he is forbearing, most forgiving. And when thou recitest the Quran, we put between thee and those who believe not in the hereafter a hidden veil. Allahu Akbar. And when thou recitest the Quran, we put between thee and those who believe not in the hereafter a hidden veil. And we put coverings over their hearts, lest they should understand it, and in their ears a deafness. And when thou makest mention in the Quran of thy Lord alone, they turn their backs in aversion. We know best what they listen for when they listen to thee, and when they confer in private, when the wrongdoers say, you follow none but a man who is a victim of deception. See how they coin similitudes for thee, and have thus gone astray so that they cannot find a way? And they say, when we shall have become broken pieces? And they say, when we shall have become bones and broken particles, shall we really be raised up as a new creation? Say, be ye stones or iron, or created matter of any kind, which appears hardest in your minds, even then shall you be raised up. Then will they ask, who shall restore us to life? Say, he who created you the first time. They will then shake their heads at thee and say, when will it be? Say, maybe it is nigh. It will be on the day when he will call you. Then will you respond praising him, and you will think that you have tarried but a little while. And say to my servants that they should speak that which is best. Surely Satan stirs up discord among them. Surely Satan is an open enemy to man. Your Lord knows you best. If he please, he will have mercy on you, or if he please, he will punish you. And we have not sent thee to be a keeper over them. And thy Lord knows best those that are in the heavens and the earth. And we exalted some of the prophets over the others, and to David we gave a book. Say, call on those whom you think to be gods beside him, then you will know that they have no power to remove affliction from you or to avert it. Those whom they call on themselves seek nearness to their Lord. Even those of them who are nearest, and hope for his mercy and fear his punishment. Surely the punishment of thy Lord is a thing to be feared. There is not a township, but we shall destroy it before the day of resurrection, or punish it with severe punishment that is written down in the book. And nothing could hinder us from sending signs, except that the former people rejected them, but this is no hindrance. And we gave Thamud the she-camel as a clear sign, but they unjustly rejected it. And we send not signs, but to warn. And remember the time when we said to thee, surely thy Lord has encompassed the people, and we made not the vision which we showed thee, but as a trial for men, and also the tree cursed in the Quran. And we warned them, but it only increases them in great transgression. And remember the time when we said to the angels, submit to Adam. And they all submitted, except Iblis. He said, shall I submit to one whom thou hast created of clay? And he said, what thinkest thou? Can this whom thou hast honored above me be my superior? If thou wilt grant me respite till the day of resurrection, I will most surely bring his descendants under my sway, except a few. He said, be gone. And whoso shall follow thee from among them, hell shall surely be the recompense of you all, in ample recompense. And entice whomsoever of them thou canst with thy voice, and urge against them thy horsemen and thy footmen, and be their partner in wealth and children, and make promises to them. And Satan promises them naught but deceit. And entice whomsoever of them thou canst with thy voice, and urge against them thy horsemen and thy footmen, and be their partner in wealth and children, and make promises to them. And Satan promises them naught but deceit. As to my servants, thou shalt certainly have no power over them, and sufficient is thy Lord as a guardian. Your Lord is he who drives for you the ships in the sea, that you may seek of his bounty. Surely he is merciful towards you. And when harm touches you on the sea, all those whom you call upon, except him, become lost to you. But when he brings you safe to land, you turn aside, and man is very ungrateful. Do you then feel secure that he will not cause you to sink in the side of the land, or send against you a violent storm, and then you will find no guardian for yourselves? Or do you feel secure that he will not send you back therein a second time and then send against you a storm blast and drown you because of your disbelief? You will then find therein no helper for yourselves against us. Indeed, we have honored the children of Adam and carried them by land and sea and given them of good things and exalted them far above many of those whom we have created. Remember the day when we shall summon every people with their leader. Then whoso shall be given his book in his right hand, such will read their book, and they will not be wronged a whit. But whoso is blind in this world will be blind in the hereafter and even more astray from the way. And they had well nigh caused thee severest affliction on account of what we have revealed to thee, that thou mightest invent against us something other than that, and then they would have certainly taken thee for a special friend. And if we had not strengthened thee with the Quran, thou mightest have inclined to them a little. And if we had not strengthened thee with the Quran, thou mightest have inclined to them a little. In that case, we would have made thee taste similar afflictions of life and similar afflictions of death, and then thou wouldest have not found for thyself any helper against us. And indeed, they are near to unsettling thee from the land, that they might expel thee therefrom. But in that case, they themselves would not have stayed after thee, save a little. This has been our way with our messengers whom we sent before thee, and thou wilt not find any change in our way. Observe prayer at the declining and paling of the sun unto the darkness of the night, and the recitation of the Quran and prayer at dawn. Verily, the recitation of the Quran at dawn is specially acceptable to God. Allahu Akbar. And wake up for it, the Quran, in the latter part of the night as a supererogatory service for thee. It may be that thy Lord will raise thee to an exalted station. And say, O my Lord, make my entry a good entry, and then make me come forth with a good forthcoming, and grant me from thyself a helping power. Amen. And say, truth has come and falsehood has vanished away. Falsehood does indeed vanish away fast. And we are gradually revealing of the Quran that which is a healing and a mercy to the believers, but it only adds to the loss of the wrongdoers. And when we bestow favor on man, he turns away and goes aside, and when evil touches him, he gives himself up to despair. Say, everyone acts according to his own way, and your Lord knows full well who is best guided. And they ask thee concerning the soul. Say, the soul is by the command of my Lord, and of the knowledge thereof you have been given but a little. And if we pleased, we could certainly take away that which we have revealed to thee, and then thou wouldest find in the matter no guardian for thee against us, except mercy from thy Lord. Surely his grace towards thee is great. Say, if mankind and the jinn gathered together to produce the like of this Quran, they could not produce the like thereof, even though they should help one another. And surely we have set forth for mankind in various ways all kinds of similitudes in this Quran. But most men would reject everything, but disbelieve. And they say, we will never believe in thee until thou cause a spring to gush forth for us from the earth, or thou have a garden of date palms and vines, and cause streams to gush forth in the midst thereof in abundance. Or thou cause the heavens to fall upon us in pieces, as thou hast claimed, or thou bring Allah and the angels before us face to face. Or thou have a house of gold, or thou ascend up into heaven, and we will not believe in thy ascension until thou send down us a book. And we will not believe in thy ascension until thou send down to us a book that we can read. Say, holy is my Lord. I am not but a man sent as a messenger. And nothing has prevented men from believing when the guidance came to them, save that they said, has Allah sent a man as a messenger? Say, sufficient is Allah for a witness between me and you. Surely he knows and sees his servants full well, and he whom Allah guides is the only one rightly guided. But as for those whom he allows to perish, thou wilt find for them no helpers beside him. And on the day of resurrection, we shall gather them together on their faces, blind, deaf, and dumb. Their abode will be hell. Every time it abates, we shall increase for them the flame. That is their recompense, because they rejected our signs and said, what? When we are reduced to bone and broken particles, shall we really be raised up as a new creation? Have they not seen that Allah, who created the heavens and the earth, has the power to create the like of them? And he has appointed for them a term. There is no doubt about it, but the wrongdoers would reject everything but disbelief. Say, even if you possess the treasures of the mercy of my Lord, you would surely hold them back for fear of spending, for man is niggardly. And of a truth, we gave Moses 9 manifest signs. So ask then the children of Israel. When he came to them, Pharaoh said to him, I do think thee, O Moses, to be a victim of deception. He said, Thou knowest well that none has sent down these signs, but the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and so many evidences. And I certainly think thee, O Pharaoh, to be a ruined man. And after him we said to the children of Israel, Dwell ye in the land, and when the time of the promise of the latter days comes, we shall bring you together out of various peoples. And in truth we have sent it down, and with truth has it descended. And we have sent thee only as a bearer of good tidings and a warner. And the Quran we have revealed in pieces, that thou mayest read it to mankind at intervals. And we have sent it down piecemeal. Say, whether you believe therein or believe not, those to whom knowledge has been given before it do fall down prostrate on their faces when it is recited to them. Allahu Akbar. And say, Holy is our Lord. Surely the promise of our Lord is bound to be fulfilled. They fall down on their faces weeping, and it increases the humility in them. Say, call upon Allah or call upon Rahman. By whichever name you call on him, his are the most beautiful names. And utter not thy prayer aloud, nor utter it too low, but seek a way in between. And say, all praise belongs to Allah, who has taken unto himself no son, and who has no partner in his kingdom, nor has he anyone to help him on account of weakness. And extol his glory with all glorification. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful, all praise belongs to Allah, who has sent down the book to his servant and has not put therein any crookedness. All praise belongs to Allah, who has sent down the book to his servant and has not put therein any crookedness. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful, all praise belongs to Allah, who has sent down the book to his servant and has not put therein any crookedness. He has made it a guardian, that it may give a warning of a grievous chastisement from him, and that it may give the believers who do good deeds the glad tidings that they shall have a good reward, wherein they shall abide forever, and that it may warn those who say, Allah has taken unto himself a son. No knowledge have they thereof, nor had their fathers. Grievous is thy word that comes from their mouths. They speak naught but a lie. So haply thou wilt grave thyself to death for sorrow after them, if they believe not in this discourse. Verily, we have made it all that is on the earth. We have made all that is on the earth as an ornament for it, that we may try them as to which of them is best in conduct. And we shall make all that is thereon a barren soil. Doest thou think that the people of the cave in their inscription were a wonder among our signs? When the young men betook themselves for refuge to the cave and said, Our Lord, bestow on us mercy from thyself and provide for us right guidance in our affairs. Amen. So we sealed up their ears in the cave for a number of years. Then we raised them up that we might know which of the two parties would better reckon the time that they had tarried. We will relate to thee their story with truth. They were young men who believed in their Lord, and we increased them in guidance. And we strengthened their hearts. When they stood up and said, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. Never shall we call upon any God beside him. If we did, we should indeed have uttered an enormity. These our people have taken for worship other gods beside him. Wherefore do they not bring a clear authority for them? And who is more unjust than he who invents a lie concerning Allah? And now, when you have withdrawn from them and from that which they worship beside Allah, then seek refuge in the cave. Your Lord will unfold for you his mercy and will provide for you comfort in this affair of yours. And thou couldst see the sun, as it rose, move away from their cave on the right, and when it set, turn away from them on the left. And they were in the spacious hollow thereof. This is among the signs of Allah. He whom Allah guides is rightly guided, but he whom he judges astray, for him thou wilt find no helper or guide. Thou mightest deem them awake whilst they are asleep. And we shall cause them to turn over to the right and to the left, their dog stretching out his forelegs on the threshold. If thou hadst had a look at them, thou wouldst surely have turned away from them in fright, and wouldst surely have been filled with awe of them. And so we raised them up that they might question one another. One of them said, How long have you tarried? They said, We have tarried a day or a part of a day. Others said, Your Lord knows best the time you have tarried. Now send one of you with these silver coins of yours to the city, and let them see which of its inhabitants has the purest food. And let him bring your provisions thereof. And let him bring you provisions thereof, and let him be courteous, and let him not inform anyone about you. For if they should come to know of you, they would stone you or make you return to their religion, and then will you never prosper. And thus did we disclose them to the people, that they might know that the promise of Allah was true, and that as to the hour there was no doubt about it. And remember the time when people disputed among themselves concerning them and said, Build over them a building? Their Lord knew them best. Those who won their point said, We will surely build a place of worship over them. Some say there were 3. The 4th was their dog. Others say there were 5. The 6th was their dog, guessing at random. And yet others say there were 7. The 8th was their dog. Say, My Lord knows best their number. None knows them except a few. So argue not concerning them except with arguing that is overpowering. Nor seek information about them from any one of them. And say not of anything, I am going to do it tomorrow, unless Allah should will. And remember thy Lord when thou forgettest, and say, I hope my Lord will guide me to what is even nearer than this, to the right path. Ameen. Allahumma ameen. And they stayed in their cave 300 years and added 9 more. Say, Allah knows best how long they tarried. To him belong the secrets of the heavens and the earth. How seeing is he, and how hearing. They have no helper beside him, and he does not let anyone share in his government. And recite what has been revealed to thee of the book of thy Lord. There is none who can change his words, and thou wilt find no refuge beside him. And keep thyself attached to those who call on their Lord morning and evening, seeking his pleasure, and let not thy eyes pass beyond them, seeking the adornment of the life of the world. And obey not him whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, and who follows his evil inclinations, and his case exceeds all bounds. And say, It is the truth from your Lord. Wherefore let him who will believe, and let him who will disbelieve. Verily, we have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire whose flaming canopy shall enclose them. And if they cry for help, they will be helped with water, like molten lead, which will burn the faces. How dreadful the drink, and how evil is the fire as a resting place. Verily, those who believe and do good works, surely we suffer not the reward of those who do good works to be lost. It is these who will have gardens of eternity, beneath which streams shall flow. They will be adorned therein with bracelets of gold, and will wear green garments of fine silk and heavy brocade, reclining therein upon raised couches. How good the reward, and how excellent the place of rest. And set forth to them the parable of 2 men. One of them we provided with 2 gardens of grapes and surrounded them with date palms, and between the 2 we placed a cornfield. And between the 2 we placed cornfields. Each of the gardens yielded its fruit in abundance, and failed not the least therein. And in between the 2 we caused a stream to flow. And he had fruit in abundance. And he said to his companion, arguing boastfully with him, I am richer than you in wealth and stronger in respect of men. And he entered his garden while he was wronging his soul. He said, I do not think this will ever perish. And I do not think the hour will ever come. And even if I am ever brought back to my Lord, I shall surely find a better resort than this. His companion said to him, while he was arguing with him, doest thou disbelieve in him who created thee from dust, then from a sperm drop, then fashioned thee into a perfect man? But as for me, I believe that Allah alone is my Lord, and I will not associate anyone with my Lord. And why didst thou not say when thou didst enter thy garden, only that which Allah wills comes to pass? There is no power save in Allah. If thou seest me as less than thee in riches and offspring, perhaps my Lord will give me something better than thy garden, and will send on it, thy garden, a thunderbolt from heaven, so that it will become a bare, slippery ground. Or its water will become sunk in the earth, so that thou will not be able to find it. And his fruit was actually destroyed. And he began to wring his hands for what he had spent on it. And it had all fallen down on its trellises. And he said, would that I had not associated anyone with my Lord. And he had no party to help him against Allah, nor was he able to defend himself. In such a case, protection comes only from Allah, the true. He is the best in respect of reward and the best in respect of consequences. And set forth to them the similitude of the life of this world. It is like the water which we send down from the sky, and the vegetation of the earth is mingled with it. And then it becomes dry grass, broken into pieces, which the wind scatters. And Allah has power over everything. Wealth and children are an adornment of the life of this world. But enduring good works are better in the sight of thy Lord in respect of immediate reward, and better in respect of future hope. And bethink of the day when we shall remove the mountains, and thou wilt see the nations of the earth march forth against one another. And we shall gather them together, and shall not leave any of them behind. And they will be presented to thy Lord standing in rows. Now have you come to us as we created you at first, but you thought that we would fix no time for the fulfillment of our promise to you. And the book will be placed before them, and thou wilt see the guilty, fearful of that which is therein. And they will say, oh, woe to us! What kind of book is this? It leaves out nothing small or great, but has it recorded it. And they will find all that they did confronting them, and thy Lord does not wrong anyone. And remember the time when we said to the angels, submit to Adam, and they all submitted, except Iblis. He was one of the jinn. And remember the time when we said to the angels, submit to Adam, and they all submitted, except Iblis. He was one of the jinn, and he disobeyed the command of his Lord. Will you then take him and his offspring for friends instead of me, while they are your enemies? Evil is the exchange for the wrongdoers. I did not make them witness the creations of the heavens and the earth, nor their own creation, nor could I take as helpers those who lead people astray. And remember the day when he will say, call those whom you deem to be my partners. Then they will call on them, but they will not answer them, and we shall place a barrier between them. And the guilty shall see the fire and realize that they are going to fall therein, and they shall find no way of escape therefrom. And surely we have explained in various ways in this Quran for the good of mankind and all kinds of similitudes, but of all things man is most contentious. And nothing hinders people from believing when the guidance comes to them and from asking forgiveness of their Lord, except that they wait that there should happen to them the precedent of the ancients, or that punishment should come upon them face to face. And we send not the messengers but as bearers of glad tidings, as warners. And we send not the messengers but as bearers of glad tidings and as warners. And those who disbelieve contend by means of falsehood, so that they may rebut the truth thereby. And they take my signs and what they are warned of only as a jest. And who is more unjust than he who is reminded of the signs of his Lord, but turns away from them and forgets what his hands have sent forward? Verily, we have placed veils over the heart, that they understand it not, and in their ears a deafness. And if thou call them to guidance, they will never accept it. And thy Lord is most forgiving, full of mercy. If he were to seize them for what they have earned, then surely he would have hastened the punishment for them. But they have an appointed time for which they will find no refuge. And these towns, we destroyed them when they committed iniquities, and we appointed a fixed time for their destruction. And remember the time when Moses said to his young companion, I will not stop until I reach the junction of the two seas, or I will journey on for ages. But when they reached the place where the two seas met, they forgot their fish, and it made its way into the sea, going away swiftly. And when they had gone further, he said to his young companion, Bring us our morning meal. Surely we have suffered much fatigue on account of this journey of ours. He replied, Didst thou see? Well, we betook ourselves to the rock for rest, and I forgot the fish. And none but Satan caused me to forget to mention it to thee. It took its way into the sea in a marvelous manner. He said, That is what we've been seeking. So they both returned, retracing their footsteps. Then found they one of our servants upon whom we had bestowed our mercy and whom we had taught knowledge from ourselves. Moses said to him, May I follow thee on a condition that thou teach me of guidance which thou hast been taught? He replied, Thou canst not keep company with me in patience. And how canst thou be patient about things, the knowledge of which thou comprehendest not? He said, Thou wilt find me, if Allah please, patient, and I shall not disobey any command of thine. He said, Well, if thou wouldest follow me, then ask me no questions about anything, till I myself speak to thee concerning it. So they both set out till when they embarked in a boat, he staved in it. Moses said, Hast thou staved in it to drown those who are in it? Surely thou hast done an evil thing. He replied, Did I not tell thee that thou wouldest not be able to keep company with me in patience? Moses said, Take me not to task at my forgetting, and be not hard on me for this lapse of mine. So they journeyed on till when they met a young boy, he slew him. Moses said, Hast thou slain an innocent person without having slain anyone? Surely thou hast done a hideous thing. He replied, Did I not tell thee that thou wouldest not be able to keep company with me in patience? Moses said, If I ask thee concerning anything after this, keep me not in thy company, for then thou shalt have got sufficient excuse from me. So they went on till when they came to a people of a town, they asked its people for food, but they refused to make them their guests. And they found there a wall which was about to fall, and he repaired it. Moses said, If thou hadst desired, thou couldst have taken payment for it. He said, This is the parting of ways between me and thee. I will now tell thee the meaning of that which thou wast not able to bear with patience. As for the boat, it belonged to certain poor people who had worked on the sea, and I desired to damage it, for there was behind them a king